even support from government to make available this information. Remember, there is the G, which is the governance.
The governance part,
in addition to corporate governance, there is also legislative governance. That is in terms of to making sure that everyone at individual, community level and business level, they understand the regulations, they understand the legislation to say when you embark on this development, these are the ESG frameworks that you need to comply with. So it needs supports as the media from all stakeholders.
Broadcasting live from the capital city, Gaborone, this is BTV News at 9. Amora Dile Kifitlile, and translating to sign language is Topo Taposa. Before we get into the news for this evening, let's take a look at stories making headlines. President Masisi appeals to the Shoma region to vote BDP into power. The 2024 Northern Trade Fair attracts a good number of international exhibitors. And in the world of sports, the Botswana shines at the 6th African Union Sports Council Award-winning ceremony. Thank you for joining us. The President, Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi, who's also the leader of the Botswana Democratic Party, BDP, has pleaded with members of the ruling BDP in the Shoma region to correct the mistake they made in 2019 when they voted opposition party members in the region, comprising 3 constituencies of Shoshong, Mahalape East and Mahalape West. President Masisi was speaking at the BDP Shoma Region Star Rally held at Mogane Village this morning. Addressing the delegates, the president said the BDP has a proven track record of managing the country's affairs prudently since the first elections in 1965, adding that it has and continues to come up with programs aimed at empowering Botswana for sustainable development. President Masisi also highlighted that as they gear up for the 2024 general election slated for October, the BDP will implement some of the pledges it made in 2019 in the 2019 manifesto, which were put on hold following the eruption of COVID-19. He, however, says the BDP-led government should be credited for coming up with the reset agenda in response to the effects of COVID-19, which includes accelerating the Botswana's digital transformation agenda through a strategy called Smart Bots to catalyze digital transformation across the economy, government and society. He also shared that programs like Demoletlotlo and Tuoletlotlo, connection of free electricity, will offer more opportunities for improved living standards and transformation of the economy. Meanwhile, the BDP also welcomed new members into their fold who are expected to boost their chances of reclaiming the Shoma region, which was once their stronghold.
Party kyo nehela inti busa Botswana ki ngwa mahatsi a palopotlana mo Afrika le mo lehatsheng ba ba iske ba entwe Botswana ha iska le ope Botswana go rena kagiso ke lebaka la ntlha la gore o tlhopha kagiso party yone tsamaisang Botswana ke yone hela party mo Botswana e isking e tsogologelwe ke dintwa tsa tsholo ya madi ke yone tse dingwe ga ke batla go bua thata ka tsone mme re a di itse ke party ya kagiso ke yone hela party e le gore e thulagantse e rulagantswe e na le tsamaiso e lolameng ke yone party hela mo Botswana e le gore ha go tsena ko kwanong ya yone tse di harologaneng a ke National Council a ke Congress sengwe le sengwe se tswa ko moding ko seleng ko wading ko branching ko regioning hela ka ditlhabolo tsa rona re di rera di tsamaya ka tsela ke yone hela party e dirang jalo.
Business Botswana Chief Executive Officer Mr. Norman Molele says this year's fair attracted a substantial number of international exhibitors, adding that expanding beyond borders can provide numerous benefits. Speaking at the fair's award ceremony, Mr. Molele revealed that the fair is doing exceptionally well in creating a thriving business environment in which businesses can grow their customer base, diversify their revenue streams, and promote exports. Faith Ditete reports.
I'm sure some of you have clicked and seen opportunities for collaboration in your innovation project. This is where the networking element comes in. This is the essence of our exhibition success, fostering partnerships and driving economic progress. We have some of our exhibitors coming from all the districts, and there is a Pakistani international exhibitor in the show. Just by having one exhibitor coming from very far away across many borders, you know what it does? It turns this into an international trade fair. Our vision is to grow beyond the borders of Botswana and to be amongst the best fairs that anybody can ever attend in the continent and everywhere.
The role of small businesses and the private sector in driving the economic growth and job creation in Botswana cannot be overemphasized, stressed once again at this year's inception of the Northern Trade Fair.
The private sector plays an important role in many economies through its industrial and trade activities, but even more significantly, through its capacity to create employment opportunities. It is for this reason that the organization of the private sector, in the manner, for example, as is done here in Botswana, by Business Botswana, is an imperative for which we ought to recognize and acknowledge their commitment.
Meanwhile, the winner under livestock category, Mr. Bonam Mafa of Bonambuo Goats and Kalahari Reds, expressed how his first showcasing at the fair boosted his clientele and sales.
In thusitse la thata because ona le dipudi dingwe tsene ke tile ka tswana le re ke a di rekisa, and so they were short more within these days ya show. It helped me to network with other business partners. By Longore, they are also in the business agricultural related, because I met many people by Longore. They could be my clients. Baba more so that Kakwano tata northern side of the country. Small stock farming, Kasadu Matata, because of like reach or Kakwano an area foot and mouth, which is usually a challenge to most farmers. But I think this thing is possible. I think it will also motivate most of banana most northern side of the country. They were interested in what I'm doing and
the 28th edition of the Northern Fair that has been ongoing since Wednesday draws to a close at the end of the week, and it is anticipated to bring about beneficial change in innovation and the overall landscape of businesses in the country. Faith Ditete, BTV News, Francis Town.
Botswana's culinary pioneers have highlighted that for the country's culinary arts to become world-class, its chefs need to experience the cuisines of various cultures. Therefore, the managing director of Gaborone College of Culinary Arts, Ms. Monana Motswaledi, expressed gratitude to the Turkish embassy for availing some Turkish chefs who demonstrated Turkish cuisine to their students as a way of commemorating the Turkish Cuisine Week. Solofelo Tombale compiled the following report.
Gaborone College of Culinary Arts is committed to exposing its students to various cuisines from around the world to make them more competitive. Therefore, they were overjoyed when the Turkish embassy showcased their cuisine to 16 of their students as part of the celebration of Turkish Cuisine Week.
You know, when you are exposed to a different culture, it also improves your own cuisine. So we borrow from the French cuisine, we borrow from the English cuisine. Now we've learned how to borrow from the Turkish cuisine. Then we can improve our own dishes when we're making our fusions.
A representative from the Turkish embassy highlighted that the workshop was a worthy addition in the calendar of events for Turkish Cuisine Week.
So we specifically wanted to have a workshop here because we thought younger generations being trained in culinary arts will represent the future, and the biggest purpose of this week is to promote Turkish cuisine, and the best way to do it, to have a withstanding promotion, is to do it with future generations. And we wanted to come here and teach them how to prepare some dishes to add it to their knowledge so they can practice it in their future professional lives.
Well, I've learned that you can actually create anything out of everything, especially that it's not really hard. Well, what I've seen today, it's not really hard. So I think it was a beautiful experience as well. It was interesting. It gave me like, I want to explore more Turkish cuisines, and also not forgetting that I would like us to also go and demonstrate Botswana cuisine at Turkey one day.
The college also revealed that out of the event came an agreement for the Turkish embassy to help some of its students to obtain placements in Turkish restaurants to further their education. Sulafalo Tombali, BTV News, Gaborone.
Northwest residents have been urged to jealously guard against the extinction of their unique and diverse cultural song and dance. This was said by the Deputy District Coordinator in the Ministry of Youth, Gender, Sport and Culture, Ms. Refilwe Banda, during the Northwest Traditional Song and Dance category competitions held in Maung as part of the ongoing National Arts Competitions. Maranyane Samakata reports.
Tribes found in the northwest, such as the Bambukushu, Batawana, Basarwa, Bayeyi and Basubiya, pride themselves on their unique, colorful and dramatic cultural song and dances that continue to amuse many and carry the potential to transform the creative economy. Ms. Banda says that these are crafts to be jealously guarded. Today, we are hosting traditional song and dance competitions, which are about cultural dances that are unique to us as a nation. These are Satapa, Seperu, and Patisi, among others. And as you might know, Seperu and Diwari are unique to the region of Northwest. The Tsutsube traditional group from Maung, the Tsutsube traditional dance national defending champions, emerged victorious once again and promised to do the same at the national level.
2018,
in 2018, we won regionally and nationally. 2023, we won again, and we are the defending champions as we stand here today.
The defending champion.
Other champions of the night shared their stories on how being part of these competitions has impacted their lives. They unite us as a group. They cultivate our creativity because when you prepare for competitions, you have to dig deeper into your creativity.
Our creativity level.
Our mandate is to help the less privileged to socialize and to preserve our very own culture, because Diwari dance is all about demonstrating our cultural healing practice. I learned Patise from some Yamba men that I used to socialize with in Gasani. I used to dance for a group called Tsetiludi in Gasani, and that is where I perfected my craft. I'm so proud of where I am today. These competitions are also an endeavor by the government to keep the youths out of streets and give them a sense of purpose and belonging. Maranyane Samakata, BTV News, Maung.
Meanwhile, the General Manager for Supply at Botswana Oil, Mr. Umgutlule Masima, has implored Botswana to preserve and promote their culture, since it has a huge potential of diversifying Botswana's economy for sustainable growth. Mr. Masima said this when officiating at the Boteti Cultural Festival held at Lupanipan near Mukobakane village. Sabayitsing Teboho was there.
Botswana across the country thronged the Lupane Pen to attend the Boteti Cultural Festival, where they were treated to traditional and cultural activities such as show and dance, traditional games, and many others. The main objectives of this festival is to resuscitate different cultures found in Boteti so that it can be available for the future generations.
We want
to preserve our culture so that it does not become extinct. In the Boteti area, there are different cultures, but the festival shows that we are considerate to each other.
But it is
in Boteti, we have tribes like Basubia, Bakalanga, and many others. But we are generalized by a Sesarwa name, Gani, because they live along the Boteti River.
It is notable that Botswana have resorted to urban culture, which is from other countries. As such, it is important that they promote and embrace local culture, since it can boost the economy through cultural tourism.
I encourage Botswana that as we learn different cultures, we should also embrace our culture so that it can be promoted and benefit us financially by selling to other nations.
Kana se ki dingwe tsa maikaelelo a tautona wa rona Dr. Mokgweetsi
We are thankful that the festival is growing annually, and this supports the President's call for Botswana to be proud of their culture.
The festival is on its 7th year and is expected to continue growing to attract people from abroad. Sebastian Teboho, BTV News, Lupani Pen, Mukobakani.
We continue with our news, and Charles Hill District Council says construction of a primary hospital at Charles Hill Village remains a top priority. This was revealed during its recent full council meeting, wherein a presentation of proposed district projects for the DD9 and NDP 12 was made. Leseho Mokwaisi compounds this report.
The primary hospital project is one of the first proposed projects for the newly established Charles Hill District Council. It was highlighted that before the final draft, the community of Charles Hill District was consulted on what they wish to have in their constituency, and the hospital was at the top of the list of some of the envisaged projects.
The first issue is access to health care services in they travel long. Around 200 kilometers to access the nearest primary hospital.
There is shortage of nurses in clinics such as Magunda Clinic, shortage of midwives at Nojane Clinic. There is also shortage of drugs at our clinics. There is also shortage of learning facilities in the area, so much that we have students at Bipule attending classes at the outdoor teaching areas. Ritusen Junior School is also experiencing a similar challenge. We also do not have a senior school in our district.
From Khansi, and as far as Kamulestilo, Harna any vocational training center more district Mulestil.
Charles Hill Council chairperson said, as the leaders, they should always advocate for projects that address the needs of the community members.
We need to also bear in mind that the public out there has entrusted us for River Email. So Rente bo individual go lebella thata gore ke tswa go kgaolong efe go iragalang, because this is the first exercise ye leng go ra go kalwa ka yone ke ba leng go re ba emetse at district level, ra go kalwa ke ba bangwe gape ba leng go at a national level, ra go kalwa ke ba bangwe, as you know that we are also sharing the boundary ya corridor ya rona Trans-Kalahari corridor. So batho ba go re kala, we are not only doing this exercise or this activity for ourselves, re irela generations to come.
Very important projects, say a lot of romantic like the schools, but because of the knowledge or the position or multi-dependency in Mohorona, we feel everything has to be done by the government, but gone are those days.
Those are the things, when it's suggested, those are the priorities, register according to the Kapala Kawarona, Kahari Kahilo Pankati. Mahanoka Honma in response to certain recent Kampahari, it's about the ministries. Hokan Mama Leva, Hokan Kakeo, me.
Number one, in the primary hospital in Glasgow. This is a very, very serious issue. It will be a high impact project. In all phases, be it construction, be it operation, it is a very good Glasgow. So, number one under the social upliftment.
Some of the proposed projects, among others, are the sewage treatment plant in Charles Hill, construction of 39 kilometers tarred road joining Karakubis and New Kanahas villages, as well as the construction of magistrate court in Charles Hill. Lesomo Kwaisi, BTV News, Charles Hill.
The management of Donga Junior Secondary School says it's thriving to redeem the school after its average pass rate dwindled from 59.6% to 49.9% last year in the Junior Certificate Examinations JCE. This was said by the school head, Mr. Khopolo Mpute, during a sponsored walk organized by the school in Francistown. Mpute says proceeds from the event will go towards awarding pupils with outstanding academic performance in the JCE results. Abigail Madorobo compiled the following report.
Mr. Mpute says, as the school, they are aiming for a 60% pass rate in the upcoming JCE results, stating he is optimistic as the current cohort is promising and will deliver.
We want to work for excellence. And I want to say, over the years, Donga has been among the top performing schools nationally. But we disappointed our stakeholders this year.
The walk helps in preventing non-communicable diseases and is a way of equipping these youngsters with skills that will make them responsible leaders in the future.
A sponsored walk is also help us to combat non-communicable diseases. When you look in the community, you realize that many of the deaths are caused by non-communicable diseases. You are talking about heart diseases, lifestyle diseases. So as you are walking, you are not only announcing or not only sensitizing excellence in academia, you are also saying, as you are walking, your mental health is being impacted.
Those skills.
It's important to give them life skills that will help them in the future. So apart from that, they will be desperate. But as parents, we believe that what we are doing will grow the country's economy as we would have groomed responsible future leaders. It's
an investment.
And the community leaders are being called on to assist the school in achieving these set goals, with the area NP urging parents to support their children through their education journey, especially those sitting for their JC exam at the end of the year. Abigail Madorobo, BTV News, Francistown.
Still on schools, Monatlala Junior Secondary School, in partnership with Lions Club International, has raised well over 30,000 pula and donations of various gifts through a sponsored walk in an effort to respond to the numbers of challenges faced by the school. Their efforts garnered the support and recognition from the Assistant Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, who's also the Member of Parliament for Leralamo Natlala, Mr. Setlhabelo Modukanele, who applauded the school for being proactive and embracing the mindset change transformation agenda in line with the country's priorities. Garabo Mulusi has more details.
The students who bear the brunt of the challenges faced by the school, such as dilapidated classrooms, hostels, and inadequate resources such as photocopy machine and furniture, led the 10 kilometers sponsored walk alongside their teachers, demonstrating spirit of self-reliance and proactiveness, a gesture which garnered support.
Sengwe le sengwe se re tang re se tshotse ke se se tswang mo dipateng tsa rona.
Everything that we managed to accumulate was funded from our pockets for the greater cause to assist Maunatlala JSS to achieve its desired goal of raising funds. I am pledging 10,000 Bula. I will give you 5 to 10 reams of printing and photocopying paper from my office. I am greatly humbled by the support. If it was possible, I would burst out and cry or roll out on the ground to express my happiness. I am convinced that our priority goal of procuring a photocopy machine will soon be realized.
It's getting nearer. Heeding
the call to respond to the challenges in this school, by extension makes a difference in the lives of the 581 learners who are the long-term investment for the country.
As a community and as a national leader, I must admit that I have been personally touched by the impact of the Lion Club International movement that aims to serve our communities and to help address the challenges that our people encounter. Be it in health problems, taking care of the environment, and issues of disaster management, I understand the importance of community support and solidarity.
The school will be looking forward to more support as donation forms are doing rounds. The day was wrapped up with a cleanup activity showing the school's commitment to environmental conservation. Garabo Mulusi, BTV News, Maunatlala.
And as we end our news bulletin for this evening, Assistant Minister of Education and Skills Development, Ms. Naniki Makwinja, who's also the area Member of Parliament for Lenzweletau Mopane, says providing schools with proper infrastructure and equipment is one of the government priorities, as this will ensure that schools excel. She stated this during the official handing over of the school furniture at Motsakumo Junior Secondary School in Lenzweletau. Lise Klaas compiles the following report.
Motsakumo Junior Secondary School is a boarding school in Lenzweletau, facing challenges of shortage of furniture such as chairs, tables, beds and classrooms. The Ministry of Education has addressed the challenge by purchasing furniture to address such a need, receiving 300 chairs and 60 beds.
When we compare the numbers that we are having of learners and the infrastructure that we are having only 10 classrooms, which means when we have 10 classes inside the classrooms, the rest will be outside.
We are doing our best as Ministry of Education and as Culinary region. We've engaged a contractor to do what we call cyclic maintenance at the tune of 8.3 million pula. And we believe this will go a long way in improving the facilities in and around Motsakumo.
I was so delighted when I was invited to come here to receive the furniture, knowing that almost all the schools, but we have been hit hard.
This new furniture will go a long way in addressing the challenges, which has been a pain for the school leadership. I'm excited after seeing the gifts that you presented to us. During our school visits as VDC, we discovered certain situations that needed attention.
Because I know the situation, and I hope that you are all going to be happy with all the maintenance that is happening. I know your houses have not been of that standard that you prefer, and I hope the maintenance has at least started.
The Assistant Minister, Ms. Nanike Makwinja, is the school staff to take good care of the new furniture. She further informed the management to rest assured that other needs will be addressed, funds permitting. Lizzie Class, BTV News, Lentswele Tau.
And that's how we come to the end of our news bulletin for this evening. I'm making way for Titi, who's standing by to give you sports news. Titi, take it away.
Thank you, Rati. This is Botswana Tonight Sports segment brought to you by Tato Khosimro. Thank you for joining us and good evening. Our top story tonight. Botswana clinched 5 awards at the 6th edition of the African Union Sports Council Region 5 Awards held yesterday in Lusaka, Zambia, which coincided with our Africa Day. Local sprinter Litsile Tebogo walked away with both Junior Sportsman of the Year and the Sportsperson of the Year award. Botswana continued to shine at the awards as she was recognized as the country of the year during the gala. 25 outstanding retired sports figures who have significantly contributed to the region's sports development over the past 25 years were honored. The Region 5 Silver Jubilee Awards were won by the former Botswana National Sports Committee Chairperson Dokas Makato and former Chief Executive Officer Kitso Kemweng. Regional Annual Sports Awards is a prestigious event celebrating the best athletes, coaches and officials and the sports administrators in Southern Africa. Coming back home, Bartlett Ezra is the overall winner of the Alex Mpui Sanchez Extravaganza, which was held on Saturday at Legai Academy. Ezra won with a total of 4.5 points, while No Fatima Tov finished first in the women's category.
Ezra came into the tournament as a favorite since he's among athletes who represent Botswana at the Africa Youth Tournament in South Africa. He won all his games, drew one to finish on a clean slate. Ezra won with 4.5 points in the under-15 category, followed by Kimdo Prosper in second position with 3 points, and Mohomuts in third, also with 3 points.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy to get a win out of this. Shows that I'm still up to par with my chess. I'm still practicing for the African Youth that's happening next month, so yeah, I find it really good to win. Even though I drew one, it's still good, it's still fine, because I was playing with the other guy in under 17. But overall, yeah, it helped me a lot.
In the under-17 category, Olifile Masilo emerged as the winner after collecting 4.5 points. Second place went to Minon Abhishek with 4 points, while in third place was Khabaitsi Lemi, who gathered 3 points. Lastly, the Masters category was claimed by Pamelo Keto.
I was well prepared for my opponents, knowing that it was going to be a tough tournament. So I had prepared before coming here. My opponents were strong, but from the revision that I had and my preparation going, my tactics and preparation managed to help me win my games. And it was a good tournament because I was able to, practice and also sharpen my skills.
So for me it was like after 5 years I had to come back to chess. So it gives us the opportunity as retired players to come back and showcase our skill and also to inspire the young ones and also be involved in the game. So there's a space for us who are old and retired. So it's a very good initiative to bring us back into the game. So I really appreciate that.
The organizer of the tournament, Alex Mpuisa, said the competition went smoothly and they hope to host it in Francistown in the future.
It was a very successful event with around 110 participants. And then I think I should thank Legai Academy, my sponsor / Chess Foundation. We had more than 20 schools represented. Other than participants, 20 schools were represented. So that's a very big an achievement on our side. And then I could also say, in terms of parents, they supported us in big numbers. It's the ones who are bringing the kids.
The tournament, which attracted players from more than 10 schools, was used to prepare the players for the Africa Youth Championships to be held next month in South Africa. Sohwalami, Buying, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
Moving on, Makab City are Western Bloc Women's Football champions after defeating GAF 3-2 in a game played in Hukunzi yesterday. Makab City's victory booked them a place at the National DTCB final scheduled for Gaborone in July.
Last year, during Easter holidays, the team managed to become champions. We went on to win the competition that was held during presidential holidays before becoming regional league champions.
Presidential competitions, presidential holidays, tournament ya na bo Mampudi. Nika tournament ya July. Stop us na di finalist di run up ano irile hali ya region ya ka ya Motsubonyana se tlhopa ebile sone se tlhomileng ko pele
rena le dingwaganyana re tshameka league ya borrehela. So last season re be re mobilize re ira di tournament gore re nne le kgwele ya bomme mo region. Because
for the longest time, we have been having a men's league only in the area, but last year we managed to mobilize our resources to include women in the league. It was not sitting well with us as the region not to have development teams because our core mandate at Botswana Football Association is development.
And
our last story tonight, Gaborone United concluded the 2023-24 Botswana Premier League season with a 3-1 thumping of already relegated Holy Ghost in a Week 30 game played at Lobasa Sports Complex. The win secured a third position finish for Moyakulele with 63 points. Ryan Kemwanyani.
The money machine went into the game aiming for all 3 points while at the same time having eyes and ears on the ground to assess the situation in Jwaneng and Francistown, where Jwaneng Galaxy and Township Rollers were also in action. On the 24th minute of the first half, Lebogang Ditsile grabbed the lead for the money machine. 2 minutes later, Tataone Khamanyani increased the tally to make it 2-0. On the 43rd minute, the Holy Boys pulled one back, courtesy of Onaletata Ubupile, to take the game into recess at 2-1. 20 minutes into the second half, Khamanyani doubled his tally to give the Rays the much-needed cushion goal. Despite a good showing in the second half of the game, Holy Ghost could not convert their chances as the game ended 3-1 in favor of Gaborone United.
We did much better. Sometimes you think, or why this time? Why the last game? We gave most of the small boys, but when there was no chance, the chance, and they played very well. We did very well because of giving some small boys a chance to play today.
Yeah, I think we did what we could. It was a good game today. Both teams played good football. Even though we missed some chances, it's always going to happen. It was always going to happen. Our minds were that side, but it is what it is. We've done our part. At least we managed to get 3 points.
The win ensured that Gaborone United finished the 2023-2024 season in 3rd place with 63 points to their name, while on the other hand, Holy Ghost finished 16th on the log and in the process relegating to 1st Division South League, having accumulated 23 points from 30 games. Ryan Khengwenyane, BTV Sport, Lobatse.
With that said, we come to the end of Botswana Tonight sports segment. Back to Rati.
Thank you very much for that eloquently delivered sports update, Titi. When are you back on here?
After a week.
Got you. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
And before we wrap up our news bulletin, let's take another look at making headlines. President Masisi has appealed to the Shoma region to vote BDP into power. The 2024 Northern Trade Fair attracted a good number of international exhibitors. And in the world of sports, Botswana shone at the 6th African Union Sports Council Award-winning ceremony held in Lusaka, Zambia. And that's where we leave it for our news bulletin. Look out for the weather.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's weather forecast brought to you by Litia Wajikomo. Looking at the current Saturday image, clear skies are visible over most parts of the country. Tomorrow, expecting partly cloudy conditions over Kalahari, southern southeast Gauteng and Queenie. Also expecting patches of clouds. In the morning, we're expecting cold temperatures over Kalahari, southern southeast Gauteng, Queenie and northeast ranging between 5 and 7 degrees Celsius. Also expecting mild temperatures between 8 and 13 degrees Celsius. In the afternoon, expecting warm temperatures over the entire country between 26 and 29 degrees Celsius. As for the Sadek region, clear skies expected over Port Elizabeth and Maseru, 19 degrees Celsius over Maseru, and 4 degrees Celsius over Port Elizabeth. Manzini expecting patches of clouds with 22 degrees Celsius. Antananarivo, Beira, and Lusaka expecting patches of clouds with 25 degrees Celsius over Lusaka and 27 degrees Celsius over Beira. Antananarivo expecting 22 degrees Celsius. Dar es Salaam and Blantyre expecting patches of clouds with 20 degrees Celsius over Blantyre and 30 degrees Celsius over Dar es Salaam. Thunderstorms expected over Kinshasa with 33 degrees Celsius. That's the weather forecast. Good night.